So a lot of people have been telling me that I should talk about red flags in dating or any sort of relationship setting. Not only is it hilarious to talk about, but it's also interesting to see what sort of constitutes a red flag. So I found a list on the interweb and we're gonna go through them and see what sticks out and talk about it for a little bit. I'm gonna put my glasses for this one. When a person casually puts their hand over the front of your neck, this is clearly a red flag. Don't think it's a good idea to be putting hands on anybody. I don't think there's really a casual way to put your hand around somebody's neck. And that might be a good time to retreat, dribble out, because that one ain't for you. What we got next? Possessiveness. Okay, so more often than not, you want somebody to take an interest in you when you're first talking. A lot of times, like calling constantly, checking in constantly, I'm sure can be endearing to a certain degree. I feel that when it becomes surveillancy, that's when it might be a little cause for concern. I think general check-ins is good. Sometimes we're just busy with life, adulting and doing our thing. Give some people some time to get back to you. I'm sure that if they like you enough, they will get back to you. It's very important in any sort of relationship to make sure that you give opportunities for space to recalibrate, get in tune with yourself, and remember that, you are a person before being with somebody else. Let's see what else we got here. Pushing their wants onto you to the point of making you responsible for their happiness. So this goes back to what I was just talking about. You gotta remember that you are two people coming together in order to try to see if this bond will work. You are a person, they're a person, and you both have needs collectively and should be opting to try to meet each other's needs in the best way possible. A wise woman, my mother, always told me the worst thing that you can do is rely on somebody else for your happiness. You put so much stock into one person whenever they are not at 100%, you're automatically going to fall. It really should be about both of you bringing 100% and filling in whenever the other person needs you. It's important to feel individualism even in a relationship. The goal should be to find somebody who complements you as well as elevates what you already got going on as opposed to tries to take over. Love bombs. So showering you with a lot of affection, a lot of gifts and whatnot. Yeah, that's a red flag. I feel like it's a red flag because it's almost as if they're trying to buy your love. Probably going to manifest in a very bad way later on. When they do something bad, it's going to be associated with getting gifts, so that's just easy for you to forgive them. I almost feel like it's a tactic. Definitely something that I would be wary of. I don't really like taking gifts from anybody that I don't know personally, because it always sort of insinuates something. What are you trying to get from me? Different when you're already in a relationship and you're that's become your norm or your love language. A lot of people have that. Very concerning if I'm just meeting you and you're willing to buy me a PlayStation. Although if you did want to buy me a PlayStation, I might overlook some things. I'm just kidding, okay? Shoot, red flag. Next. Poor communication skills. Well, duh. It's going to be definitely difficult to try to have hard conversations, open up about feelings. I know what they mean by this when they say poor communication, but I ultimately think of it more in a funny way. If one person's controlling the entire conversation all the time, and the other person is giving the bare minimum, I could not stand for that. That's the biggest red flag. That's around the time when I might have to skedaddle out of there. If I wanted to hold down a conversation by myself, I would just sit at home in front of the mirror. Not saying I do that, I'm just saying. Okay, what we got next? Not feeling safe or comfortable enough sharing hurts, needs, or wants in a relationship. I don't know if I'd necessarily call this a red flag. I think it's more just like a minor white flag concern. Ultimately, I think the goal of a relationship is to try to find somebody that you're comfortable sharing those inner deep thoughts with. Sometimes that takes a while. We've all been through different things in our lives. Some people are carrying so much things on their own. It's not easy for them to open up. You might not be setting a space safe enough in order to bring those feelings to the surface. It takes time. Some people are just more bubbly than others. Some of us stay scheming and are a little bit more cautious to ourselves, whereas others are just chatty Cathys and talking a lot. Definitely something to look out for, but I don't think it's necessarily worth writing somebody off. One more for good luck. Deflecting responsibility for choices, both small and large. Well, obviously, there's nothing better than somebody that messes up and owns up to it. Just says, hey, you know what, that was my bad. It is what it is. But not wanting to take the responsibility for anything and always feeling like you do everything right, you might want to skip back to the back of the line because we ain't here for all that. Nothing is more great in a relationship than being able to be vulnerable, apologizing, and making up for it. In an adult relationship, it's very important to take responsibility and to understand that, you might mess up sometime, but it doesn't necessarily mean the end of the world. What do y'all think of these red flags? Comment below which one was your favorite and let's talk about it. All right, peace.